What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Jesus Coin. Yes, we are, man. I love seeing prices at some of the highest points that we've seen in months. I really do love that. That is the highest price that we've seen literally since March of this year, actually. Very near the same highs that we had back in June. If we look at the daily here, you can see that this volume is increasing nice as we're moving up. That's really good to see. And there's something that I want to say, right? If we look at this for what it is, just looking at the price action here, the last time that we saw volume of this magnitude, it was here. We do have a little bit more, but it was pretty comparable to here, right? And this was our move here. It ended up being a nothing. We came back down, right? How do we know this isn't the same? We had a lot of volume here, not quite as high, but still a similar read nonetheless, right? Went up and then went down. How do we know it's not the same? Similar readings back here, a little bit more technically than here, but still similar readings. We went up above the blue line. We're up above the blue line now, and we went down both times, right? How do we know we're not doing it here? Let's try and make sense of that. I will try my best, guys. Okay, here we go. With my skills here, my sick technical skills, man. It's not going to be that hard, I promise you. It's very obvious. I probably don't even need to talk. If you're looking at it right now, it should be pretty obvious. Maybe there's one thing that's not so obvious, but I'm going to go over it all right now, okay? The one thing that's not so obvious, in my opinion, is that the blue line here, the 123, is postured upwards. It's actually in a bullish slope right now, right? We've actually got an upward slope. This whole time it's been down, getting close to getting up, but not quite, but now it's up, actually. So that's something that's different compared to all of these. The longest amount of time that we had stayed above the blue line, closing-wise, was from this, we closed here, and then we closed below it on this day. It was 9 days, okay? Here, we closed above it on this day, and then we closed below it on this day, 9 days. Here, we closed above it this day. We got close to closing below it this day, but we didn't. It's been 17 days now. As long as we don't close below this blue line and see a massive dump today, it'll have been 17 days, almost double the longest stint that we had seen before above the blue line since we've been below it. This is the longest stint above the blue line. The 123 moving average is a significant area on any chart, especially on a daily and weekly time frame. It's sloped up, which it hasn't been since we've been below it, or at least it hasn't since it sloped down since we've been below it. We have the longest stint above it since we've been below it. And the RSI, if you look, each time that we came up here, right, if you look at the RSI here, it couldn't even get overbought, right? It was skimming it on each of these highs. Got overbought, moved down immediately. Got overbought, moved down immediately with all these. Couldn't even get overbought here. Here, we're living in the overbought zone, man. We're living above the 50. You see how this right here is different than anything that we went over here, right? We are living above the 50. We're not getting below it. Every single time we were very short-lived in the overbought zone and immediately got below the 50 down to our oversold zone. Things are different this time. And when I say different this time, I mean different than any other instance that we've pumped above this 123 moving average. If it's different this time, and I think we've established that it is, are we going to turn around here? If it's different this time, are we going to do the same thing we did before? Are we going to do the same thing we did back here? Are we going to do the same things that we did in this area if it's different this time? I don't think so. I don't think so, man. I think we're moving up. I think things are looking good, and truthfully, I think it's very simple. You don't need all that lecturing that I just gave. If you look at the high to the low here, not the actual low. That's like your fake out low, but the high to the low of this overall move, I feel like that's the low there, right? This is like the sideways move. This is like your downward move. If you look at the golden ratio, it's the 618 here. Being that it's right here at the 2358, and then the 69 is at 6028 essentially. So 602358 to 6028, that is the next target zone. It would make sense, you know, based off of what I said, that we don't stop here in the area that we normally have stopped, but we continue going, right? We continue going forward. Looking at the fibs as well, we've respected the 236 here as resistance, broke above it, found support on it, respected it as support as well. Whenever you see this kind of behavior where you go to your 382 and then pull back to your 236 for support, you generally do just make a move right up to that 61869 area. If we don't make a straight move there, perhaps we find resistance here at the 0.5, come back to the 382 for support, and then move up there. But whether it's like today or tomorrow, that we're at the 61869 zone, or it's sometime next week, we're going there in a very short amount of time. Okay, this is the next target area, and absolutely, this is Jesus coin, you guys. This could happen at any given point in time. We don't know, right? Like it could. I can plan for this to take 1 to 2 weeks, 1 day to 1 week, however long. But maybe it takes 2 days and we're already up here. You know, like who knows? It can move fast if it wants to. And I do very much believe it's going to move fast. It might feel like it's moving slow while it's moving fast. It's kind of funny how that can happen, but I'll explain what I mean by that, right? Like last time, moved up 61x in the course of 2 months, right? Literally, the low was here, September 25th, that week, and the high was here, November 27th. That's 2 months, like literally 2 months' time. It seems fast, right? We look back at it, we're like, dude, that was fast, 61x in 2 months. But this point here, where we were moving sideways for a little bit, like around a month there, right? And then even 2 weeks after we moved up, we were still moving sideways like that. That 6 week stint, it probably felt pretty boring. As exciting as it was, truthfully, it probably felt boring, right? So I'm just saying we might move up. It might feel exciting right now, but then maybe we have a month stint where we move sideways to consolidate before pushing higher. We could do something like that, right? We consolidated here below our all-time highs, right? Maybe we move up and we consolidate here in the 61869 zone, a little bit below the all-time highs. I actually wonder, was that around the 61869 high to low? You consolidated literally right at the 6.9. That's where you stopped. You went back to your 0.5, right? I'm actually kind of calling for this exact move to happen, essentially. And maybe you don't do that just because that's exactly what you did last time. Maybe you don't do this exact same thing. But going off of the behavior, we've seen it already happen before once. We could move up here, find resistance in this area, find some turbulence, kind of consolidate, and then after like a month, move up. And that could make sense. That could really make sense, especially considering that I think we're going to move up to this zone. If not like today, if we don't move up to this zone today or tomorrow, when I say this zone, I mean 602358 to 6028. If we don't move up to that zone today or tomorrow, then I would assume it's going to be sometime next week. It's the 10th of October. So between now and sometime next week, it would be like the 17th to the 10th, somewhere in that time frame, right? If we consolidated for a month or so like we did last time, and then we move up, that would mean that it would be the end of November that we move up, going into December that we move up, just like last time, right? Just like what we've been calling for, a nice pump to end the year off. So it all makes sense. I'm not saying this to discourage anybody or get anybody sad or worried that the price is going to consolidate, right? I'm more trying to say that as like a preparation, right? To, yes, be excited, but don't get your feelings hurt if we consolidate in this area for a little bit. Don't get your feelings hurt if you buy and it doesn't go up immediately, right? Don't get discouraged. We're doing good things. We're making headway at the right time of the year. I think that we're going to go up to new all-time highs. It's just a matter of time, right? We're in the middle of the move right now. And I guess I'll end the video with that. You know, from a high to a low, same old stuff, guys. From the price that we're at now to the minimum projection, it's not the same old, because now the potential end of the year gains have gotten a lot smaller, right? But now the potential end of year gains are still about a 7x to potentially at the highest, and that's the minimum. The minimum is a 7x by the end of the year, okay? Maximum by the end of the year could be something like a 16x, 7 to 16x by the end of the year. Still pretty good. Still pretty good. Not what it was yesterday. Not what it was in yesterday's video, but still pretty good. We could go higher. Absolutely. A 20x or 30x from here is even possible, but I would say it's less likely. I would focus really on that 16 to 7x. That's personally what I would expect. And I got nothing else to say, guys. Any downside from here is just noise. We're moving up. We're moving up, man. And that's that. So, oh, you know what? Before I end the video, I do this every time, so it should come as no surprise. Look at the volume, man. Like today, we're 4 hours and 10 minutes into the day. Okay, as of right now, it's 10:10 where I'm at in the day. It's 10:10. It's the 10th of October on the charts here. 10 o'clock for me is 4 hours into the new day. So it's 10. It's 4 hours and 10 minutes into the new day right now. We have this much volume already. We have more than like double, more than quadruple some of these entire days worth of volume that we experienced in August and September. Like this whole time from like July until October, basically, until the very end of September, we have had already in this 4 hours and 10 minutes more volume than the average day in this August, September, this July to like September range, man. And I don't know if it's like the average day, but certainly more than like this average like stint here, this like huge gap of just like nothingness. And this is all in the first 4 hours. This is nice. I love seeing it. Might not seem like there's a lot of volume, right? I think that's because we have a big hodling community, a lot of diamond hands, but there is more volume, substantially more volume coming in than we've seen in the past couple months. And I think you can see it when you look at it, right? We're on the daily aspect, 4 hours into the new day, and we already have more volume than we did on any whole entire days. I can't wait to see where this day ends. If we continue, if we do continue on this trajectory, we genuinely could be at that 618, 69 area by the end of today. We really could be. And again, that's at 60235 to 6028, somewhere in that zone. And that's all I got to say, guys. If you like the video, hit that like button. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Love seeing Jesus Coin go up. Can't wait for it to be at new all-time highs so we can pop that champagne and celebrate Christmas properly. I'll see you guys on the next one. Maybe if we're going to celebrate Christmas, I should get eggnog with champagne. All right, I don't know. Would that be good? Maybe not. They got alcoholic eggnog, though. We'll make it work. All right, take care, guys. Bye-bye.